Hey, second grade. Today, on Thursday, January 28th, you are going to write a how-to paragraph. But before I talk about that, let's start with, what's a paragraph? Maybe you need just a little reminder. A paragraph is made up of 5 to 8 sentences. So at least 5 sentences, but could be up to 8 with more details. A paragraph has a topic sentence. This is the first sentence that, remember, we indent, we leave a little space, and then we write that first sentence. And this tells the main idea of the paragraph, the main thing that you are going to be writing about. It then has at least 3 supporting details. Remember last week we talked about main idea and details? The supporting details gives more information about that main idea, about the topic sentence. And remember, all of these sentences should start with a capital letter and end with punctuation. And last, every paragraph has a conclusion sentence, also known as a closing sentence. This is similar to the topic sentence, and it wraps up the paragraph to let the reader know that it's the end of the paragraph. So today you're going to be writing a paragraph, but this one is specifically about how to play your favorite game. So when I say game, that could be a card game, a board game, an imaginary game that you made up, or even a video game. So any game that is appropriate, please make sure it's appropriate. No violence in this game, please. So this paragraph will tell how to play this game. So first step, right now, pause the video and think. What game do you want to write your paragraph about? How to play it? What game? Now get a piece of lined paper or a notebook, and you're going to write on there. Make sure it's lined paper or notebook. First, you want to add the date at the top. It's like how I have it up here. Then you want to add a title. Notice how it's in the middle of the page. So the title can be as simple as the name of the game. It can also be like how to play blank. And that blank would be the name. Then you have to put an indent. Remember, you can draw a really big X to help you remember that indent. Next to that, you would start with a capital letter and you would write your topic sentence. Don't forget to put punctuation at the end of the sentence. Then you would skip a line. Remember, it's important to skip lines so that we can go back and add more details in those extra spaces if we need. Then you're going to use transition words to write this how-to paragraph. That's really important because we're saying steps. First you do this, then you do this, next, also, last. Any of those words that make sense in the order. First, tell the first step of how to play. Next, maybe your paragraph needs 4 steps to tell how to. So you could say, then, I'm running out of room, so I'm not going to skip a space, but you normally would need to. Last, and then remember your last sentence is your conclusion sentence that is similar to your topic sentence, and it wraps up your paragraph. It lets the reader know that you're at the end of your paragraph. Now remember, you can add more details. So if I said first, you have to blah, 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 blah. I can say another sentence giving more detail about that before I go to the next. That would just tell the reader even more detail about how to play this game. So I wrote an example paragraph talking about how to play the game Tetris. It's not my favorite game, but my favorite one I have a feeling some of you might write about, which is Animal Crossing. So I'm going to read to you how to play Tetris. And as I read this, I'm going to highlight over the words with the step up to writing color. Remember our stoplight colors? Green, red, or green, yellow, and red. So that way you can remember, you can always use these colors to put the dot before the sentences to remind you, or to color over with crayon very lightly to underline, whatever way makes sense to you. So, Tetris. Tetris is a very fun game that you can play. First, you have to download the app on a phone or iPad. You can download it from the app. Oh, that should say store. So I have to make a correction. This should be an E. Next, click the button to start a new game. It will take a moment to load. Then move the blocks as they're falling down so that they fit perfectly with the blocks at the bottom. Make sure to pay attention because the blocks fall quickly. Last, another error. If I don't want the words you and the. So I'm going to cross that out. And let's read it to make sure. Last, I do want the. So I have to erase this. Okay, now let's read it again to see if it makes sense. Last, if the blocks get too high, you lose the game. You can play again by clicking the new game button. Tetris is the best game to play on your phone. So hopefully you learned something new about how to play this game. And hopefully you also paid attention to the fact that when I read this out loud, I noticed errors. So sometimes you might not see it when you're looking at it, but if you read it out loud, you'll be like, wait, that didn't make sense. So make sure to read your writing out loud to check for errors like I did. And like I said, you can highlight over with a crayon, you can draw dots to make sure that you have details. Now, you might not have all those reds like I did. I'm not making that a requirement today, so I'm not making you use all of these colors, but I do want you to add enough details so that if your classmates read this, they could figure out how to play your favorite game. So have lots of fun with this. Be creative in the way that you explain this game. Make sure that the game is appropriate, please. And when you're done, turn in a picture on Seesaw and click that microphone button to record yourself reading it out loud. And if you notice any errors as you record yourself, you can say the correction out loud in the Seesaw recording, okay? Thank you, second grade.